I'm really impressed with your ability to, if someone's trying to get a bribe from you or trying to get you to do something, you seem like you can just say, "Nah, I'm not going to do that," and they seem to let you off sometimes. How do you have the courage to just decline to bribe or participate in their schemes?
Well, I don't see it as courage, but I just don't, because this mostly happens in poor countries where obviously people have low incomes, and since I travel with local transport, I talk to people, and I would meet teachers, or like people with uh, jobs like teachers or cleaners or what have you, bicycle repair shops or taxi drivers, whatever. So and they all basically earn more or less the same salary, which is a very low salary. And then you come across a checkpoint or a border crossing, and suddenly you have to deal with officials who probably earn more or less the same salary as a teacher, and then suddenly they kind of claim that they can exert extra money from you just because you're passing through their checkpoint. Not even because you're a foreigner, because they do the same thing with locals as well. But and for me, this feels like, why would you, unless there's something wrong with my passport, or unless I'm breaking the law, then of course you can ask money. But otherwise, if you don't have a valid reason, why would you, just because you think you have some power over me, you can you can make my life a little bit harder by demanding money. And I mostly do it also for fellow travelers, because I strongly believe that if like every white person pays bribes, you first of all you keep a system of corruption in place, and secondly, the next traveler, well, the official will expect the next traveler to pay maybe even more, because he thinks, oh wait, that was an easy 50
You're
bucks.
training
Well,
them.
maybe I can ask for 60 bucks this time. So there's a huge inflation of of corruption going on. And the whole thing with bribes is like, if you show them, look, I've got all the time in the world, so if you don't want to let me through, fine, I will just wait and I will see what happens. And then very often they give in, because they're like, okay, well, I'm not gonna wait here for a week. So then they give you your stamp, or they give you back your passport. Obviously, in my book, I describe a few situations where they didn't, and we actually really got into, or actually I really got into trouble, because authorities wouldn't budge, and I also wouldn't budge. So then we have two stubborn persons like confronting each other. But yeah, no, I don't see it as courageous at all. It's just, for me, it's, I don't know, it's a matter of, almost a matter of principle. And obviously some people say, I know travelers who say, well, yeah, you just put some dollar notes in your passport, and everything will be smooth, which is a very easy way to travel maybe. But for some reason, as I said, you keep, because the funny part is that those same people will then complain like, oh yeah, like Africa is such a corrupt continent. And like, well, yeah, but you're basically, you're paying for the system to be corrupt, because you're actually one of the corrupt people yourself. So
Wow,
how
yeah.
can you comment? How can you comment on corruption if you're part of the game? So and it's ultimately, it's and obviously this is at a very low level, but it obviously also happens at higher levels. And in the end, it basically is very disadvantageous for local people, because if authorities get away with extracting money, like black money, because it's never recorded anywhere, so if they get away with extracting that from locals, because it, as I said, it doesn't happen just to me as a foreigner, but it happens to everyone. And if this is like a structural thing, I believe in the end it's not good for a country, because you want your country to be honest, and to be transparent, and in many cases it's not.
Yeah, thanks for explaining that,
But
right. I actually hadn't thought about it like that. That you're training corruption by doing that.
well, yeah, I believe so, because up and I can, I mean, imagining the officer, I can imagine if people, if people hide, because mostly how many people do it. If people hide like $50 notes in their passport, and you're the official, and you open the passport, oh, that's good. Oh, here's your stamp. Goodbye. Have a nice day. That creates expectations, because then it's like, well, okay, the next guy will also have to pay me at least $50, because otherwise I will ask more for him, more for letting him through. So, and if you make a point of saying, well, why would I pay this $50? And why are you asking for money? And again, I can understand. I mean, obviously I know I can understand that if people don't have a lot of money, they sure, you can always try to ask for money, but then it becomes more like begging. And for an official, I don't know, if begging is is part of your official
Official state
function,
beggar.
right? Well, yeah.
Because you and I are from wealthy countries and our currency does pretty well, exchange rate wise, do you ever feel like you just want to distribute money, or you want to spend in a local area because you feel extra wealthy and you think it's going to help the people that you become friends with? Like you're just more apt to spend more because you want to, I don't know, boost the economy locally or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. And exactly, this is basically what I was trying to say with the corruption thing, that I absolutely, when I travel somewhere, and this is one of the reasons why I travel locally, I don't want to spend my money on, I don't know, on a hotel room in a Hilton hotel or like an international chain. I want to make sure that I stay with a local owned guest house or restaurant or transport company or whatever. And absolutely, I think as a traveler, I mean, this is why would people even be wanting to receive travelers or tourists into the country if they wouldn't make money out of it? So I think this is I mean, tourism is one of the biggest industries in the world, and it's helping a lot of countries in earning or generating income. But my whole point is that this income should be earned in an honest way. So if and I much rather spend my money on a local lady selling whatever, something like clothes or jewelry or vegetables or fruit or whatever, than giving my money blindly to an official who then buys alcohol or cigarettes for it. So, and no, I absolutely believe that, especially now that tourism is back on the, like after COVID, we're traveling almost as much as we did before. And it's potentially it can be can have a very positive impact on local economies. But I think we have an obligation as travelers to spend our dollars wisely and to consciously pick local enterprises or local companies and local agencies and local people because there's a lot of smart people understanding that there's a potential income to be earned from tourism. And I think as a visitor, we almost obliged to to support those people and to show that we're not just coming there to take pictures and to leave and to just stay in big hotel chains, but to actually support the local economy and to maybe, I mean, let's say I'm on a taxi talking to the driver, and he talks about, I'm asking about, oh, do you have kids? Yeah, I have 2 kids, and I'm trying to give them education, but it's pretty costly. That I'm so happy to tip him extra, and I make sure to tell him, like, I really hope that that this will contribute to better education for your kids, because for me that's one of the best things you can do as a foreigner. And I'm not in a position to pay education for someone else's kids, but at least part of it also gives you a great feeling to be able to help people out and to advance and to make them advance into a more prosperous future.